Hi guys, welcome back and welcome to another episode of Cycling the Streets of Blackpool. Today's street is going to be Central Drive. Now I'm going to be very honest here, I'm not entirely sure where Central Drive ends and Bank Hay Street begins. So the bit I'm on now, as you can see, I'm right outside TK Maxx, which for those of us that are old enough to remember used to be C&A. I think that looking down there is Bank Hay Street. Well, I know looking down there is Bank Hay Street. The street here that is curls up along the prom alongside the old Woolworths building, which is now Poundland, that is Adelaide Street West. So I think this bit is part of Adelaide Street West. So this bit I'm on now is either part of Adelaide Street West or Bank Hay Street or Central Drive. I'm just going to come right out and confess that I'm not sure which. But anyway, I do know that once we get past the traffic lights we will definitely be on Central Drive. Bye! So let's cycle down here, and once we get around this little junction, I need to be on that side actually. That's better. That where we're looking now is indeed Central Drive. To the left it's Albert Road. That was very recently added onto the Streets of Blackpool cycling series just a few days ago. So today, Central Drive. This is a long road. It's not Devonshire Road long, but it's still fairly long. It starts more or less where I am now, and it finishes near the Waterloo pub. So as soon as these lights change, we are going to get going. Come on lights, hurry up. These lights seem to take the longest to change. I'm just going to walk across if it doesn't change. In fact, I'm just going to walk across. Are they activated by any kind of sensor, I wonder, because there's no cars behind me, and that could be why they're not changing. So let's jump off my bike and we're just going to walk across. I think that'll be quicker, because once I get across to this side I can start cycling and showing you guys the whole street. So there we go. So let's go. On the left, on the right I should say, we've got Coral Island. Used to be a fun fair that my sister and I used to call Luna Park. On the left we've got random shops and eateries and places. Just past on the left, Hull Road. On the right is New Bonny Street. On the left here is the Castle Pub. On the right it's the big car park, coach park, former Central Station site. That is Vance Road we've just passed on the left. And on the right is the current new development, which I am following on my channel, so there will be an update of that soon. On the left we've got Hornby Road. Most of these roads we're passing on the left are indeed already on the Streets of Blackpool series. Some hotels on the left. We've got the famous Stevonia Cafe, established 1919, that's been there many years. On the right we've got the equally famous House of Jokes. Havelock Street to the left. This block on both sides is mostly all closed down, but on the right, the building that is the old King Edward Apartments, that is going to all be refurbished as part of the new development. There was talk in the beginning that it was going to be knocked down, but it is actually staying. Once we get through these lights, oh my gosh, these lights, they're terrible. Yeah, once we get through these lights, the first street we're going to pass by on the left is Reeds Avenue, and on the right It is Chapel Street. But we have to wait for these lights to change first. Come on, lights. You don't change in a couple of minutes again, I'm going to walk. I don't know, are traffic lights like sensor operated? Do they just go off if a car drives over sensors? Because oh, they've changed. I'm going to say I don't drive, so I honestly don't know. And I don't know if a bike is enough to make any possible sensors go off. But anyway, we're off again now. That is Reeds Avenue we've just passed. The King Edward VII pub on the right. And Chapel Street. And thankfully, these lights are green, so we can keep going. The building we're about to pass on the left is the former Yorkshire Bank building. That's currently being refurbished into something else. On the right are a bunch of cafes and eateries and other shops. That is Palatine Road we've just passed. And on the right, that is the block where my nan used to have a cafe when I was little. On the right now we're passing Bethesda Square, where the old Bethesda underground toilets used to be. They used to have red telephone boxes there, and all the railings were painted bright red. That used to be a graveyard as well, where it's a car park now, behind Stanley Terrace, which has been demolished. We've got Ribble Road on the left there. I'm just going to stop the bike for a second and just turn round and show you where that car park is, because there you can see that car park. Across the road on the other side you've got the Doreen Holt Park, which is a little park for kids. Where the actual playground park is now used to be a little church hall. I vaguely remember when I was tiny playing on the steps with my sister. But on the car park on the other side, many years ago, sort of before my time, it used to be a graveyard. I have very vague memories of it being all boarded up and closed down, and like barbed wire all around it and nobody being allowed in. And my mum was telling me that it was a graveyard and all the graves were being relocated to Leighton Cemetery. But when I was growing up, behind the terrace of shops that ran along actually the front where Central Drive is, was a cobbler's and a barber's and a few more things. But behind there, after the graveyard went, there was a little coach park, and coaches would park there, because occasionally the coaches would park there and they'd bring all the people into my nan's cafe for a meal, and when we got a coach party in, it was like all hands on deck. You've got to serve them all really quickly, and it was hectic for that hour and a half. The street we've just passed now on the right is Louise Street, and another block of shops here on the right where the Trinity Hospice shop is now. That used to be the Trimit sewing shop. We're just passing Belmont Avenue now, and I'm fairly sure that Nova supermarket used to be the Jacobs office. In fact, I've got it on a video because I videoed Central Drive from my Streets of Blackpool series in 2018, and yeah, I remember the office. Threlfall's Home Bakery. I remember buying cakes and stuff from there when I was little, and the little shop that was before that, which I did mention, used to be an instrument and organ shop, and they used to offer organ lessons.